Hey, g'day, how you going? I just wanted to share something with you because this is a first for me. After 20 years of DJing, I thought I'd seen it all, but obviously I hadn't. I got a phone call from my boss. For those of you that don't know, I'm working for another company in Melbourne at the moment until I get my new company off the ground. So I'm working for this other guy and he rings me up on Saturday morning and he says, "John, tonight's wedding, you're going to have to pay for your own dinner." So, oh, why, what happened? And he says, well, the bride and groom refused to pay for the DJ's meal. And I said, well, why? And apparently, this is the groom's theory. He's a landscape gardener. If he was coming to landscape my house, he doesn't expect me to pay for his dinner, right? So that's his theory. Now, we are obviously, an entertainer is under a different agreement than a landscape gardener, and you'll pretty much find in Australia anyway, under the musicians or entertainers agreement, that if you work over 3 hours you have to provide a meal. Whether you're a DJ, in a band, a comedian, you have to provide a substantial meal. And it actually goes into detail. It says in this agreement, in the entertainers agreement, it actually says, it goes into detail. It says, like chicken nuggets and fries, do not suffice as a main meal. It has to be a substantial meal. But anyway, this guy refused to pay it, flat out refused to pay for the meal. And my boss said, look, don't worry about it. Just give the venue your $40, they'll feed you, and I'll reimburse you the $40. And I thought, all right, no problem, I'll do that. So I get to the venue, pay my money, and the guy there says, yep, we'll serve your meal over by the bar after the last table. I thought, okay, no problem. So anyway, night goes on and it's getting later and later and later, and the last table still hadn't had their dinner yet. So, the speeches are happening. Next thing you know, the bridal waltz is happening and the last table hasn't had their dinner yet. So I wasn't the MC for this event, they had their own. So out comes the bridal party, has their bridal waltz. And I don't know what it's like anywhere else, but in Australia, they do the bridal waltz. That's pretty much it for the formalities. The party's on. After that, that's it. They're dancing. And obviously, I did not have a chance to even see if the last table had finished to go and have a look where my dinner was. I was kind of hoping somebody would bring it over or say, listen, your dinner's ready over by the bar. But no one ever came over. So come to the end of the night, I went to see the manager again. I said, what happened to my $40 dinner, mate? And he goes, well, it was served. And I said, well, how would I know that? No one came and told me it was served. And he says, well, I told you it was going to be served after the last table. And anyway, I told him the story. Bridal waltz, dancing, couldn't leave. He didn't give a shit. So anyway, in the end, we had a bit of an argument and he gave me my $40 back. But a very important lesson that might come from this, especially for the guys like me that are doing it on their own, just starting out. I have actually got it in my contract, in my personal contract, it is there. It says something to the effect of, if there's a spare meal, do you mind if the DJ has a meal, or things like, are you going to be paying for the DJ's meal? All that sort of stuff, just ask. And 99% of the time, they're going to say, oh, well, of course, we'll pay for your meal. They're not going to say no, especially to your face. So have it in your contract that, or a question when you're interviewing them, when you're interviewing the bridal couple, have it as a question, bring it up early. All these things should have been sorted out weeks ago, not the day of the wedding. So like I say, I thought I'd seen it all. So I thought I'd share that with you. I learned something, so maybe you'll learn something from that as well. So practice and enjoy.